Gurubhyo Namaha. Samanya Dharma and Vishesha Dharma in Bhagavata. Okay. Samanya Dharma and Vishesha Dharma in Bhagavata. So, Samanya means common to all. Vishesha Dharma means in a specific context to a specific section of people, or to the same people in a specific context. And Samanya Dharmas are Dharma for all. Before this we have to discuss in Bhagavata. Okay. And one thing is, our shastras, whether Bhagavata or Veda or Smriti, all of them talk of the same thing. So, yet since our people have selected Bhagavata, I concentrate on Bhagavata, but in between touch other shastras also. Okay. So in these things, first let us say what is Dharma. Before we go into Samanya Dharma or Vishesha Dharma, we need to know what is Dharma. Dharma is word commonly we use. I think those who are Dharma is easy to understand than to explain. This is very interesting point. Dharma is easy to understand than to explain. That's because it is very complex. So Dharma is easy to understand, but explaining is difficult because it's a very complex thing. Each time,
let them do it.
Okay. Yet these days we have to explain everything. These days, therefore, let us try to explain. Dharma is a sadhanam. Okay. Dharma is a sadhanam to achieve something positively beneficial. This is what our traditional shastras say. Shankaracharya in his Bhashya, Gita Bhashya says, Yasmat Sakshat Abhyudaya Nishreyasa Siddhi Sadharma. Dharma is a sadhanam for achieving something positively beneficial. Okay. So this Dharma, how do we know? How do we know this sadhana? This this sadhana, a pramanam for this sadhana. Pramanam means a means of knowledge. To know this sadhana is Veda only. But in Bhagavata says, Veda pranihito dharmaha adharmastad viparyayaha. This is a shloka from Bhagavata. In Shashta Skanda, in Ajamilopakhyaana, in the context of where Ajamila's story, where the Yamadutas, after trying to take away Ajamila's life, they encounter Vishnudutas coming and preventing him. Then they get surprised. Then there is a discussion follows between them, Vishnuduta and Yamadutas and Vishnudutas. Vishnudutas ask them, hey, don't you know he is a Punyatma? Ajamila is Punyatma, you can't take him to Yamaloka. And they in the discussion they ask, do you know what is Dharma? Vishnudutas ask Yamadutas, do you know what is Dharma? Yamadutas say, yes, we know. Veda pranihito, this is the shloka, occurs there. Veda pranihito dharmaha adharmastad viparyayaha. So what Veda teaches as, what Veda prescribes as something to be followed is Dharma. What Veda prohibits something is adharma. Now this Dharma, adharma is described through the prescription of the Veda. So Veda is a pramanam. Then what about Bhagavata, since we are discussing? For us, Smriti, Purana and Tantra, that is Agama Shastra, all these are equal to Veda in Pramanyam. Because the Veda, when commentated or explained, Puranas, Smritis and Agamas have come. That's why for us, Veda is not a fixed book or a literal meaning. Veda generally says there are more than one meaning of the Veda. One is the literal meaning of the Veda. Second is the implied meaning of the Veda. Okay, second is implied meaning of the Veda. Third is the any other meaning little more remotely implied, not immediately implied. Even if there is little remotely implied Veda, remotely implied meaning of the Veda, as long as it doesn't go against the spirit and vision of the Veda. Against the vision of the Veda, any idea which doesn't go against the vision of the Veda, basic principles of the Veda, basic spirit of the Veda, that also is taken as an implication of the Veda. Therefore, literal meaning of the Veda, implied meaning of the Veda, remotely implied meaning of the Veda, all these are considered as Veda. Therefore, Smritis also are Veda, Puranas also are Veda, means based upon Veda. In Bhagavata, in our Agama Shastras also, they openly say that we are based upon Veda. We are talking the Vedic ideas alone in different words in different ways. Our way of explanation differs, but we are Vedic only, they say. Even Bhagavata too says in the beginning, first chapter or second chapter, Veda Sammitam, it says. Idam Bhagavatam Nama Puranam Veda Sammitam. In the third chapter, 40th shloka of Bhagavata, Prathama Skanda, first Skanda, third chapter, 40th shloka. Idam Bhagavatam Nama Puranam Veda Sammitam. It is acceptable to Veda. It is someplace it is says Veda, it is equal to Veda. It is an essence of Veda, implication of Veda. Like this, they use a slightly different words. They say we are only reinterpreting, re-explaining the same Veda in a different words to different people. Therefore, our Smritis, Puranas, and our Agama Shastra, Tantra Shastras, all of them only taking out the broader implications of Veda. Therefore, we can say we have the 4 sets of books completely together called as a Vedic literature. One is directly Veda, Samhita, Brahmana, Aranyaka, Upanishad, and Vedangas. These are directly Veda. Smritis are the second, and Purana and Itihasa, Ramayana. Itihasa, Ramayana, and Puranas. Ramayana, Mahabharata, and Puranas. These are the third, say what you can say, version of the Veda. Fourth is the Agama, Shaivagama, Vaishnavagama, and Shaktagama. Fourth is, we may take in a remote implication Bauddha Jainas also. But as long as they go, they go with the Veda, because most of their ideas are in Veda alone. A few places may be little extreme. Otherwise, mostly broadly, they also in keeping with the broader Vedic vision. Therefore, in all these books, we can take them as a Vedic alone. Therefore, here, when he says Veda, Shruti is the Pramanam, it means Veda, Purana, even Bhagavata is also Pramanam for Dharma. First, we defined what is Dharma. Dharma is a sadhanam to achieve something positively beneficial to yourself and to the world, to every being, every living being, every jiva. If this is Dharma, then now see, if we understand this meaning of Dharma, definition of Dharma better by contrasting. Contrasting means Dharma is a positive sadhana It is a positive sadhana. If we don't follow dharma, what is opposite to dharma? Dharma is adopting a sadhana for positive achievement, positively beneficial thing. Then how do you decide dharma from the Shruti and other pramanas? If we don't accept dharma, if we don't learn dharma from the shastra pramana, alternatively, contrast means alternatively. What is the alternative? We go by our instinct, impulse, selfishness and all. Human being by his nature is selfish, instinctive and impulsive. Instincts, impulses are commonly found in all living beings. So naturally, you see the baby just goes instinctively, impulsively acts. Even if you try to instruct, hey, don't touch fire, hey, don't do this thing, baby doesn't understand, still goes and tries to touch it. So baby goes by instinct and impulses. It goes less by thinking and understanding. Okay. Therefore, dharma means understanding it and adopting a method, consciously adopting a method by understanding it. Therefore, dharma is to be learned from Shastra to counteract the opposite of it. What is it? It is counteracting our instinctive, impulsive nature. And instinctive and impulsive, we can add certain mechanical behavior, selfish behavior, and some kind of another thing is wrong samskara. Human nature, human being has a capacity to pick up wrong samskara, bad habits, bad culture, also wrong personality. So that wrongly channelized your mind, that pulls you in wrong direction, which is harmful to you and harmful to the society. Therefore, to counteract these negative nature in human being and give him a proper sadhana to achieve the things of this life and next life and moksha, three things. To achieve the things of this life positively, without harming or with a minimum harm, with a minimum difficulty, without coming to harm, you can achieve the goals of life, human goals, goals of this life, goals of other life, and also ultimate goal of life, that is a moksha. To abhyudaya and moksha. To achieve these things, you require a conscious, well-designed, well-defined sadhana. Otherwise, a human being by himself goes by instinct and impulse and old samskara, old habits, inbuilt habits, and are mechanically like this he goes. So dharma counteracts this nature of us. So modern people are not aware of this nature of dharma. Otherwise, we think that we just live because we love something. Generally, we love our sense pleasures, entertainment. These are the things we love, our money and certain things. Whatever we want, we just want to achieve in an easier way, shortest cut. We don't look at the other implication. Like another example, which is a commonly, we love to eat something. Doctors say this is harmful to you and don't eat this junk food and all that. We get tempted to eat and then we eat them. Now, this is where dharma comes. Dharma helps you dharma helps you to channelize your inclination, your behavior, your thoughts, your actions in a proper way. They channelize them. They give you a proper direction to it. That is dharma. Then how do you decide dharma? Do you decide by our medical science and our social customs and government laws? Is it enough? No. Because dharma, the basis of dharma, first we defined what is dharma. Second is pramana of dharma. Third is dharma is, why do we need dharma at all? On what basis we decide that this is dharma? It is a cosmic law. 2 points here. One is the very nature of jiva, nature of the cosmos, nature of the world, and there is a cosmic law for it. Okay. So what is the nature of jiva? Nature of jiva is, there is an essential nature of jiva And now at the moment, he is in a different nature. He is in his unnatural state. He is not in his natural state. Therefore, he has to be guided and directed. If a person is in unnatural state, his unnatural desires, those desires he thinks they are natural. Similarly here, a person, here this is where to understand the basis of Dharma, you have to go to a little bit of philosophy, a little bit of Vedanta. So I don't go into Vedanta here, but I just say that we require it. A few sentences I say. The very nature of Atma and nature of the cosmos. Cosmos follows the simple law of cause and effect. Cause and effect. Therefore, you have to follow the proper channel, proper sadhana to reach an end. Sometimes you may adopt a shortcut also. What is shortcut? Shortcut means take only one aspect of it and ignore all other aspects. For example, human being has got a various personality. One is a physical personality. That means your health and other bodily condition. To adopt a sadhana to achieve something, you have to keep in mind your physical conditions, health and other. Second, you have got a social personality. That is, you have to interact socially. Then economic needs you have to see. Then psychological satisfaction, your emotion, intellect, your mind also to be healthy and happy. Then the fourth is your Atma. Like this, we have got many aspects in our personality. You generally, like children or babies, he loves something he wants to eat, he goes by the taste and eats. He doesn't look at economic aspect. It doesn't look at his health, doesn't look at any other aspect. So generally, we take only one aspect of our personality and try to do it and ignore what is it, how is it going to affect other aspects of my personality. So Dharma here teaches you, take all aspects of your personality in view and also your future interest in view and then follow a particular sadhana. So if you follow a sadhana for an immediate need, ignoring your future need, that is a shortcut. Or if you follow only taste and ignore your health, ignore your economic status, ignore your how much damage you are causing to nature and harming the society and the social structure and values, etc., your psychological personality and then your Atma, all these aspects you ignore and take only one aspect of you, this is called a shortcut. Dharma takes the broader view and therefore Dharma takes the cosmic view. Therefore, it is called a complete Dharma. And Dharma has to be decided from that cosmic view, not from an individual, narrow, shortcut view. A shortcut view doesn't do justice to all aspects of your life. But Dharma does it because Dharma is based upon the cosmic law of cause and effect, or that is a karma phalam, that the punya papa is a product of that cosmic law. One is you have to see the human nature. Human nature is he has got a potential. There are two things. One is his real nature, another is the present Atma. Present Atma is the Jiva Atma. The present nature of Jiva is something unusual, is something different from his original nature. So this present nature is the individual nature of Jiva is little unnatural. This unnatural Jiva, in this unnatural conditions, whatever desires he entertain, he may get benefited instantly, but he will come to harm later. Therefore, don't go by this unnatural nature of you. Keep in mind your inner nature of the Atma. So to keep in mind the inner nature of Atma, to keep in mind the cosmic law, we need Dharma. We need a Shastra who knows this, who knows the real nature of Atma from my side, and who knows the real nature of the cosmos also. Therefore, that Shastra alone, Shastra means anybody who has this larger vision of, total vision of nature of myself and nature of the cosmos. One who knows, one who has this total vision, this is Shastra. This is Veda. That Veda can prescribe what is right for me. Simple example, like a baby or a small child wants to eat something and he says, Amma, can I eat this? Amma thinks of it, his age and his health condition, doctor's advice and many other factors. He says, no, you can't eat that. Instead of that, I'll give you something else. Don't eat this. The baby thinks that why father or mother control me? They don't allow me. They don't understand. Because mother and father keep a larger picture of life of baby, whereas the baby knows only immediate need of his own taste. That's all. Taste or hunger. So similarly here, Jiva by himself goes by his instinct, impulses, and we call these days freedom. In the name of freedom, I just want to do what I like it. And they go to such an extent these days, they argue that freedom means I do whatever I like. I don't care what happens to others. If they prevent me, if they don't approve, it is their mistake. I don't care. I'll do what I like. And people say, you don't know how to use the freedom. You may abuse your freedom. You come to harm. They say, if I don't abuse the freedom, it is not a freedom. Freedom means I use, abuse, and do whatever I like. If I come to harm, it is my job. You don't interfere. Now, this is the way some people talk these days. But Shastra says it gives you freedom, but it also tells you how to use the freedom in a healthy way, in a mature way, so that using of a freedom will be helpful to you, positively helpful to you later, or in a larger picture, in a larger level, it will be beneficial to you. This is okay. Therefore, Shastra or the Veda or the Purana Bhagavata has that total cosmic vision. It gives you, it prescribes you the right sadhana and prohibits this, you don't do it. And the human nature is such. Human being, you have to say two. One is, I have got a choice. My mind is capable of learning from the mistakes, learning from my own mistakes, learning from others' mistakes, learning from my past, and looking at and learning through books and others' life and all this. Human being is capable of learning, adopting, and choosing. Therefore, he has to be taught. Baby has no capacity to choose. Baby cannot do that. Even if you advise, baby goes by impulse alone. There is no use. Animals cannot be prescribed dharma. Hey, do this thing, it will be good for you. Even if you advise, neither an animal can understand nor can adopt a positive, constructive, creative sadhana to follow, to achieve something. Isn't it? Therefore, animal cannot be advised, cannot be given dharma. A baby also cannot be given dharma. Only a grown-up human being can be given dharma. Now we discussed three things. One is the definition of dharma. Second is the pramana. Pramana means the means of knowing dharma. Third is the basis of dharma. Third is the basis of dharma is the cosmic law. Keep in mind the cosmic law and also the human nature, the present nature, and also the potential essential nature. Okay. So based upon this, dharma is understood as a necessary for human life. Now coming to the Samanya Dharma and Vishesha Dharma. Okay, with this background, we can understand this dharma, Shastra prescribes and we follow. That's why right from childhood we have been taught. You may not study the book directly, but the Shastra's vision, those ideas, that knowledge, those customs and habits are taught to us through our parents, through our elders and gurus, so that Vedic knowledge comes to us through different ways. A society which learns that culture, and through that you learn. Therefore, this again is a Vedic knowledge alone coming from the source of Veda only. So here the Samanya Dharma means certain prescribed behavior. Now dharma is a three level. One is the physical level, Sharirika, Vachika, Manasika. One is at the physical level, that is the behaving, acting, speaking, and mind level again to feelings and thoughts. What kinds of thoughts and ideas you are supposed to entertain, and certain wrong, because if you allow the mind to think, it keeps on getting attracted to certain line of thinking and goes on and on and on, gets habituated. Because the human being has got one good point, and if it is abused, it becomes a problem. What is it? It is you keep doing something, thinking something, feeling something in a particular way over a period of time, that becomes a habit. That forms a samskara in your mind. If that samskara is a good one, positive one, it is okay, it is nice for you, nice for us. But if that habit or a samskara happens to be wrong one, then that repeats it, that pressurizes you sitting inside, that urges us to do the same wrong thing, like a bad habit, like smoking and some such thing, or etc. So certain other things which are harmful to us, but in a younger days, out of some curiosity you start, and then you do something, and again due to some reason, then gradually once you get addicted, then it becomes difficult to give it up. Similarly, in our habits, in behavior, in our talking, in our talking also, we get wrong words and wrong way of expression. They become a habit. Then using certain vulgar words and all those things, then it becomes difficult. In a formal, respectable occasion also, those words come in. And in emotions also, where you are supposed to keep your love and emotion in your dharmic context, means in dharmic area alone, feel your emotions. Because human mind can feel emotion with anybody, any object, anywhere. You can't feel. You have to restrict your emotion in a right object according to dharma. You cultivate that emotion in a right people, right things. Otherwise, if you leave the mind wild, it starts feeling with anything, with anybody. This becomes a problem. Once it comes, then controlling becomes difficult. And after some time, it starts controlling us. And it starts pulling you, dragging you in the wrong direction. Thoughts also, if wrong ideas, wrong ideals, if mind gets used to think wrongly, same idea repeated over a period of time, it gets used to it, habituated. Even if you don't want it, goes there. Like what you call disturbance, concentration. Concentration, if you cultivate, do anything, you read some book or do your work, you can keep your concentration there. But if you don't practice concentration by doing some job, by doing some japa and meditation, some such thing, then you keep on disturbing the mind haphazardly, one that thing, one this thing. Then over a period of time, mind becomes restless. It can't concentrate. Do you see? You try, if you want, for 1 week, 10 days, you don't do any serious work like reading or with a concentrated work. You do it for 1 week. After 1 week, 8th day, you won't be able to concentrate. Your mind get disturbed. That means concentration is also a habit. Intellect has to learn. Therefore, at the level of intellect, certain advices, prescription is given. Creative thinking is good. That is not prohibited. In fact, that is encouraged. It is only misusing of your intellect in a wrong area alone is prevented. Okay. Dharma prevents you, awakens your potential energy, potential strength, wisdom, knowledge, your inner awakening, everything. Dharma prevents you abuse of your energy, physical energy, emotional energy, intellectual energy, from being used in a wrong way. That is Dharma. So that positively you get benefited, positive habits also, positive personality also you develop. Both. So Dharma is in 3 areas, 3 levels: body level, mind, emotion level, intellect level. This I told. Another is 3 levels is towards the world, towards the devatas, towards myself. Towards the world we call Adi Bhautikam. Adi Bhautikam means society, world. Towards them, how you are supposed to behave, how you are supposed to interact, how you are supposed to think good about them and all that. So this is your relationship with the world and the society, all that is Adi Bhautika. Adi Daivika is Devatas. So your relation, generally what we call religion is only Adi Daivika relation alone. Adi Daivika relation is called in English as a religion. But for us, dharma means, adibhautika means the social conventions, government laws, and human laws which we make. This is adibhautika dharma, adibhautika laws. Government laws are also part of dharma. Common sense laws, social conventions, all these are positive, good conventions. All these form part of adibhautika dharma. Adi Daivika Dharma is religious laws. You accept some Ishta Devata, some prayer, some meditation, some kind of bhakti bhavana, upasana, and offer something and have a. So this is Adi Daivika Dharma. You take up some diksha, and that every diksha of some devata will give you some discipline, some values, some self-control, and you have to mold your mind and cultivate it and purify it. Therefore, this is a Adi Daivika Dharma. Adhyatmika is purely your inner personality, your Atma Swarupam. You grow more towards Atma Swarupam. In an unnatural personality, that individuality is an unnatural personality. So this is a more an inner one. Okay, more and more you grow inner, you become more natural and spontaneous. You grow closer to Atma. So this is Adhyatmika realm, dharmas in Adhyatmika realm, dharmas in social realm, external world is called Adibhautika. Dharmas in a religious realm, that is your God, your Ishta Devata and prayers and all, that is called Adi Daivika. And this is Adhyatmika. Okay, these three realms we use, we have dharmas. And this is another little more bigger topic, but I'll resist, I'll control. I won't talk much about it. This is enough for this. We'll proceed with our topic given to me, Samanya Dharma and Vishesha Dharma. So some dharmas are common to all, irrespective of whatever condition you are, whether men or women or anybody, anywhere in the society, whoever they are. Here, regarding Samanya Dharma, whether it is Manusmriti, Yajnavalkya Smriti, Mahabharata, Bhagavata, all of them talk more or less the same, one or two words extra, but generally same. We don't have a very exactly numerically only this many dharma. It's not like that. Some Manu refers to 10. Mahabharata may refer a few more, one or two more. So broadly, they give few values, few values, few acts, and say etc. None of them are exhaustive. Mahabharata, here Bhagavata talks of dharma in 7th chapter. First, let me say, in Bhagavata contains Dvadasha Skanda, 12 books. Out of them, Saptama Skanda, after Prahlada's story is over, towards the end, in the last 5 chapters, from the, I think, 11th chapter to 15th chapter. In these 5 chapters are dedicated for Dharma only. Those who want to study Dharma, these 5 chapters, you get Dharma in one place in Bhagavata. Secondly, in Ekadasha Skanda also, I found in 17th, 18th, around that, 17th, 18th, in 2 or 3 chapters, again Dharma is talked about there. Now in Ekadasha Skanda, 17, 18, 17 Varnashrama Dharma, I think it takes 3 or 4 chapters there. There again Dharma discusses. These 2 places you find Dharma in one place, but in other places also a little more scattered. But here you see more concentrated in 2 places. So I say now I take up this 7th skanda, 11th chapter. Here Samanya Dharmas, 30 Samanya Dharmas here enumerates. This is a samvada between Yudhishthira and Narada, Dharmaraja and Narada. Yudhishthira asks and Dharmaraja replies. He says, few qualities I just mentioned, like Satyam. Speaking truth is not just oral truth. It is an honesty of your personality. Sincerity of your personality is called truthfulness. Oral truth, people these days, orally they may tell the truth, but still inside they may have different things. That is not the truth. Truth is your mind should be sincere. When you do anything, talk to anything, interact with people, be sincere. This sincerity is a great quality. Any human being needs to cultivate, and such a society will be definitely a great society, which always lives very sincerely. Therefore, Satyam. Daya. In fact, Indians are known for truth. In our Indian history, when foreigners visited, some of the tourists have written, Indians give high value to Satyam. And even if he's going to lose all his property, right now he's going to be on street along with family and children, he will not hesitate. For them, Harishchandra is their model. They will speak truth and they will not swerve from that law of truth. Okay, dharma of truth. Satyam, speaking truth is sincerity in your heart. What is in your heart? The same thing orally you speak. These days it is becoming very difficult. You have to be more diplomatic, more political. The more and more societies become. This we will say more in Vishesha Dharma, we'll talk of that, not now. Then Daya. Daya means being kind to people. We need to be kind to people because people do commit mistakes. Or second reason, some people have their own weaknesses, their own mistakes, they commit mistakes, they give trouble. You have to be a little bit, no, kshama. This quality comes under kshama. Anyway, I leave the kshama, again come back to Daya. We need to be compassionate because people are in different conditions. Some people not well, some people are disadvantageous, some people are robbed and cheated by people, they are frustrated, suffering. Everybody is not in the same condition. Therefore, you have to understand the society. You can't be too selfish and mind your own life. Be considerate to others. Be kind, compassionate, considerate to others. Everybody's life is not same. When they are in trouble, when they are suffering, always try to be kind, compassionate to them, help them. So the kindness develops my personality and also connects me with the cosmic law. Just now in the beginning, we defined law, dharma is based upon cosmic law. Okay. So dharma is based upon cosmic law, means I get tuned to the cosmic law. In the process, I give up my false personality and go towards closer to my Atma. I go closer to my Atma and also get tuned to the cosmic law. Okay. Therefore, these qualities help us to go towards closer to my real nature of Atma. I grow towards my real nature and also get tuned with the cosmic law. Therefore, Daya makes me kind-hearted and makes me more natural being. Okay, Daya is being kind to others. Third thing is Tapaha. Tapaha is endurance. To achieve anything, to do anything, we need endurance. We have to work hard. Hard work and endurance is Tapaha. Without hard work and endurance, nothing can be achieved in life. People generally think that anything we achieve shortcut and easily. Both the nature, the world also needs hard work, and human personality also we need our personality, mind, sense organs, body, they all have to develop a taste for hard work. If you work hard for a few days continuously, you develop a taste in it because you get a joy in achieving something, taking up something, working disciplined way and achieve something, you get a joy in it. Therefore, we should develop a taste and loving. Once you develop a taste for hard work and disciplined work, you don't want to be lazy. In fact, see, it's a very great discipline. Nobody likes to be lazy once you develop a taste for that hard work. So tapas gives you self-control, discipline, and a taste for hard work. Okay, so this tapaha. Fourth is shaucham. These qualities are required by everybody, any caste, any person, anywhere in the society, in the world. Shaucham, cleanliness, both physical cleanliness and also mental cleanliness. Next is titiksha. Titiksha means endurance here. Iksha means just generally observation, self-observation as well as observation of the world. These are the qualities everybody needs. Shamaha, control of the mind, because mind being emotional, our emotions run wild if we are not taught properly where to put your emotion, where not. Otherwise, we hastily, emotionally invest our emotion in a wrong person and wrong area. Later, we get shocked. And it takes a long time to recover. I see some people get depressed also. They take a long time to recover. Years and decades. So similarly, Shama means You have to put the emotion in a right place so that the emotion remains pure and dharmic. Damaha means control of the sense organs. So at the sense organ level, you have to just control. Somebody provokes you, you get angry, but you know, talking harshly is not good. So what you do, you feel anger in your mind, but you don't express it. You feel disturbed, but still you don't express it. Physical level, don't show up. Just hold it. Hold your sense organs. Your speech and sense organ, hold them, don't express it. So this is a first step, control at the level of sense organs. Shama is control at the level of mind. Similarly, ahimsa, non-violence, because other people do some mistakes. It is human nature. So don't be too cruel to people. All of the people have their own weaknesses, their own mistakes. So give little bit of consideration, little accommodation is called ahimsa. Then brahmacharyam. Brahmacharyam means not overindulging pleasures, because pleasures really attract, and enslave. Then you will lose your very personality. So brahmacharyam is also a dharma for all caste and all varna and all ashram. Then tyaga. Tyaga means not acquiring, not accumulating unnecessary more than you need. Okay. Otherwise, it becomes a greed. Keep on acquiring. That becomes a habit. Then that becomes an addiction. It becomes a part of personality. Then swadhyaya is a concentration, a japa. Swadhyaya is a japa and learning. Arjavam, again, same sincerity. Santosha, being contented with whatever you have achieved in life. Too much of restlessness, being too restlessness is also not good. Otherwise, you keep on desiring. You don't know where you are going. In spite of making money, job and everything, if you keep on becoming restless, there is no meaning in life. Therefore, just to be santosha, samaduk seva, serving the more mature elderly people, gurus, saintly people, mahatmas, more mature elderly people, serving them also gives them certain endurance, certain respect, certain humility. These qualities we learn by serving elderly people. Then gramyeho paramashanai, this also the same thing. Pravritti nivritti we learn. So drunam viparyayehiksha, then self-introspection also required. Self-introspection. Then maunam, not speaking unnecessarily more than necessary. These days, more speaking is encouraged. Unnecessarily, what we don't know also we interfere and speak. These days, I see people. What is not my topic, what I have not learned, what I don't know much, should not speak. So that we learn how to control from unnecessarily speaking. Then Atma Vimarshanam, Annadhyadeh, then whatever food, clothes, and certain things which we have, let us share with others. Samvibhagaha Danam, this is called. Yatharhataha, according to your capacity, sharing with others. Atma Devata Buddhi, this is the last quality, is a very good quality. Atma Devata, looking upon other living beings, other human beings as similar to us or like a god. Devata Buddhi, look upon others as gods. Gods means reverence. God means whether they are God or not is a different issue. Something as if they are God. So be respectable to others. Even if they commit mistakes, still respect the human beings as if they are gods. See? Therefore, Devatatma Buddhi, this elevates your mind, makes you a very gentle man, respectable man. Otherwise, if you mistakes everybody has, if you keep on concentrating only mistakes, you will lose respect for anybody. Nobody you will find on the earth who is respectable. Then ultimately you keep on looking down upon everybody. Then all your love and respect and everything will go away. Personality goes to dogs. Therefore, looking upon people, every human being, every living being, as similar to Atma or as if they are gods themselves. Okay. Then another is Bhagavad Bhakti Astikyam, Astikata. Astikata, Bhagavad Bhakti is common to all dharmas. Okay. Runamayam Paro Dharmaha. So these are 30 dharmas common to all people. Okay. Now, Samanya Dharma, I told. Now, Samanya Dharma, I stated. Now, coming to the Vishesha Dharma. Vishesha Dharmas, in the same context, in the same chapter, Vishesha Dharmas are based upon Varnas. Okay. This Varna is a bit complex topic. In fact, this is a Indian phenomenon. Some people say it has existed all over the world. Varna Vyavastha existed all over the world, but in later days it has gone out of use. But Indians have retained, because we have a more balanced society. We keep Ihaloka, Paraloka, and Moksha, all worldly achievement and spiritual achievement all together. Therefore, we have retained. Anyway, regarding the Varna is a very big topic. I touch briefly each point. Regarding the Varnas, in the Ekadasha Skanda also, again in the 17th chapter, again it comes. So the Varnas are different parts of the same Vishwarupa Paramatma. How the Varnas are born. So Shastra says Varnas, regarding this Varna also, there are different views in the society. I just touch them briefly. One reason is a political reason. Second is a social reason. But Hindu Shastras say it is a purely religious reason. I mean Dharma Shastra reason. I say political reason is Aryans invaded. So the invaders always, invaders who feel that they are superior, they subjugate the local people and push them as a lower caste. Lower caste means push them as, make them into servants. And out of them, some people make them still wretched people, and they want to dominate. And therefore, they consider themselves as belonging to higher rung of society. They occupy the high positions of money and other things, kingdom, ruling, administration. All these things they will keep in their minds, and local people, they push them into servants or slaves. So this is a political reason. But our Shastras, nowhere it says that political invasion has produced Varna Vyavastha. And other side, that Aryan invasion itself has been disproven, it has been debunked, and you can see them. First thing, in fact, it was not proven even in the beginning itself. It was just mooted, and other people imagined, keep on defending. That again due to political reason that we know, I don't discuss more. Now the social reason. So first, therefore, our Shastras nowhere we say that invading of one country into by another, or this caste system or Varna Vyavastha is born. No. So second reason is social reason. What is the social reason? Different people adopted different professions and say the professions made them into castes. Some people were telling this. Even now, some people, in fact, most of our people believe like this. But in Shastras, nowhere it is like this. Nowhere it is said that professions have later days become into Varnas. Nowhere it is told. In fact, Shastra says a profession is prescribed to a Varna, not that Varna is derived from the profession. I repeat it, Varnas are not derived from the professions. It is a certain profession is given, prescribed to a particular Varna. This is what you see uniformly in the Veda, Smriti, Vedangas, Puranas, in Bhagavata too, or even Tantra Shastra, anywhere. Dharma is prescribed, a profession is prescribed to a particular Varna. Okay, this is a totally new thing. Many people do not know, but it is lying there in all our Shastras. And you see them, the Orthodox people, or even our old generation, you see them, we all have lived in our village life. This is how we found it. And we never found this modern thinking in our ancient days, in our younger days. So, Varnas, first, to the Varnas, this is, Vritti is prescribed, not that based upon Vritti Varna. So, how the Varnas come? Varnas, Varna is a qualification to be able to practice one profession. According to your capacity, certain profession is given. So here, that capacity is decided by two reasons. One is your past karma. Due to past karma, you are born in a particular family, into a particular parents. and also how you are brought up with certain samskaras as well as certain culture. Samskaras is Vedika samskara, like Namakarana, Upanayana, etc. These are Veda mantra purvaka because they invoke certain Vedic, certain Shastriya mantric power, Devata Shakti, and infuse and install upon you. So it purifies your sense organs, mind and intellect and all that. Okay, so these are the samskaras, Shodasha samskara, 16 samskara. One is the past karma, second is the samskaras, third is your bringing up culture, values. You identify with your parents and your atmosphere and all that. So you generally identify with your parents and bring up those values and customs and all that. It becomes easy for you to follow them. So these three reasons put together makes Varna. So Varnas come from the birth. And regarding even that Antyaja caste also, here regarding Antyaja caste also, I'll just briefly touch and leave it because it's totally a separate topic, this untouchability, how this happened, all those things. Our modern people have been interpreting wildly, totally unaware of the Shastra, ignoring what Shastra says, they imagining anything. They say they are doing dirty job, therefore they become untouchable. This is totally wrong. Nowhere it is stated. Now there is no single statement even remotely about this, that you are doing dirty job, therefore you become untouchable. It's just nothing. So then why all those things? I have to explain a lot of things. There is no time, so I'll just say briefly only. Due to past karma, we assume the Varna. Here one more thing regarding the caste, word caste. Word caste is not an Indian term. We have got Varnas alone. So the castes are within the Shudra, within the fourth Varna. Fourth Varna, there were various castes. We call them various castes, barber and washerman and etc. Those are called caste within the one Varna, Shudra Varna. But Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra, they are not caste, they are Varnas. So we can say there are caste within the Shudra. They are due to profession. Partly profession, not completely, partly profession, partly due to certain other reason, ancestral calling. Okay, I respect for your ancestor. But there you can say to certain extent, they are based upon your profession, based upon a certain profession you have adopted, like barber and etc. Because generally for Shudras, dharmas, certain dharmas are generally common. So religious rituals and dharmas are common. Therefore, they say more the social aspect of is there. Therefore, you can say the word caste can be used within the Shudra, but Varnas cannot be called as castes. So the caste word, they say it is some English word or maybe some other for Portuguese word, they say. Okay, that we leave it. So Varnas are due to past karma. And then by samskara and karma, it is retained. It is retained. So therefore, untouchable also. Untouchability is like somebody passed away for 10 days, you remain untouchable. It's just like that. It doesn't mean anything insulting, any other thing. This is a totally separate topic. We'll discuss some other time, probably not now. It won't time permit. But it is something what is prevalent in the society. Even our own educated people, what they think is totally baseless. It is not based upon our Shastra. It's a totally different reason. Only one thing I say and proceed. If the untouchability is based upon Janma, then as he advances, as he grows in his age, he will become less untouchable. Okay? If he follows his own Dharma sincerely, as his age advances, his untouchability gets exhausted. By the time he becomes 90, he is totally exhausted. All untouchability is gone. So this means it is a Janma. Due to past karma, it comes. More you live with it, gets exhausted. Okay, this is a separate topic. Now in the Varnas, to the Varnas, certain dharmas are prescribed. So according to the context, your situation, these dharmas are prescribed so that person with Shastra prescribes when I follow, it becomes a dharma. When Shastra prescribes me, if I choose myself, I go by my raga desha. I like it. These days, you see, where you get money, you just go there. So you don't, mostly people go not by, go by money and status and other things. Here Shastra prescribes to you that this is what you are supposed to follow. It is holy for you. Whatever is prescribed for me, it is holy for me. It is good for me. Because if I obey the Shastras Agnya, like a Shishya obeys Guru's Agnya, he cultivates all his good values that fetches him punya. Otherwise, if you go by your own liking, you like today one thing and tomorrow something else, you keep on changing. So, and your likes and dislikes are also wavering. They are not sincere, systematic. So in these things, he says, in this Ekadasha Skanda, people's nature is borrowed from your past. I mean, it's an extension of your past karma. Past karmas and past samskaras bring you. Sometimes there is a little fluctuation. In Brahmana Varna, you find them, not all are perfectly Brahmanas. Many people may not have Brahmana. Some Shudras seem to have very good cultured mind and very good saintly hearted. We find them, this is true. But so this is a general dharma is given. So for everybody, their own dharma is dharma prescribed for them. If he does it, he can achieve this life as well as he can achieve the other life. So many doubts are involved because our present generation do not know much. Maybe few people, those have studied, but most of the people do not know. Many aspects, many angles are involved. So for want of time, I just say briefly only these few points. Dharma prescribed by Shastra, I accept it and sincerely follow. And this achieves my things of this life as well as the punya and as well as my moksha also. It prepares me for my moksha. So dharma tunes me to my cosmic law. In those days, our dharma, according to Dharma Shastra, it is not comparing with another caste or another person. It is finding a place in the cosmic Ishvara, finding a unique place of yourself in the cosmic Ishvara. Therefore, all the caste part form the parts of various parts of cosmic Ishvara. Whichever part you are, you belong to, you are one part of Ishvara. That is important. So as these days people are too much comparing with each other, that part is important. So this comparing with each other never existed in our Shastras, never advised that. Compare one part, you see my hands and legs, which part is better and higher? This is superficial. All my parts are equal to me. So comparing one profession with other, one caste with other, this is unnecessary. And if that way you keep on comparing it, there will be continuous jealousy and there can never be peace and there can never be harmony in the society. Because there is always competition. Do you think you love your competitor? You never love your competitor. In fact, you feel jealous of your competitor. So therefore, you find a place in the cosmic Ishvara, your own unique place, and more you fulfill your place, your role. You fulfill your role, more and more you become one with Ishvara, and more you will be fulfilled, and more it will prepare you for your higher life. Therefore, dharma is for your acquiring punya. Punya is your tuning up with your cosmic law, and also helping you to grow towards your inner personality. Now these days, more and more we are becoming individualistic. In Bhagavata, in Ekadasha Skanda, at one place it says, in Kruta Yuga, I touch briefly, in Kruta Yuga there was no Varna Vyavastha. That means people were so sincere, so wholehearted, nobody would do anything against his heart. Everybody was sincere. So when people, just like friends or family members live at home, whichever work is required, people will do wholehearted. That's all. So as the time changes, individualism, too much of individuality is developing. From Kruta Yuga to Treta Yuga, individuality more. In Dwapara Yuga more, in Kali Yuga is more and more individuality alone. We don't know whether these periods of Kruta, Treta, Dwapara exactly the way the Puranas say. But this much we can say, the quality they describe about the Yuga is understandable. I have seen in my younger days, in my childhood, in village life, people were so simple. So simple. I just give you one event, you can understand how the life was like a Kruta Yuga. If one fellow commits some mistake, robs somebody's from the field, some fruit or some grain, something he robs. Somebody came to know and he reports to the head of the village, Gramadhikari. Gramadhikari calls him and he asks him, hey, tell me, what did you do? He will admit openly. No witness required, no pressure, no threatening, nothing. He said, this is what I have taken. Hey, you have done a mistake. Now what is punishment? Do you know that? And he remains, he feels shy, he blushes and all that. Then you tell him, see, he feels ashamed, not shy, he feels ashamed. Then you say, this is the punishment, don't do like this thing. Then he understands. Immediately he admits his mistake. You see how it was Satya. Like that, Kruta Yugam means need not be that ancient period. Even now, even in this Kali Yuga, there are some people who are so sincere, so honest. Like the children, how they live. Have you seen two babies? Two babies, even if they are speaking two different languages of 2 or 3 years old, they speak different languages. As soon as a baby sees, instantly goes to that baby. They play with each other. They enjoy this thing. You can see such a beautiful love and harmony. Similarly, people in Kruta Yuga or even in this Yuga, where people are such a simplicity, honest, naturally. They don't act anything artificially. They don't have any artificial personality, no hypocrisy. Live so simple, so natural and spontaneous. They just interact with each other. Oh, this is your, if somebody forgets it, if somebody valuable thing forgets, we go and offer him, hey, you forgot, this is your valuable, take back. Oh, if I take, I know it will be papa for me, I will not take. It is your thing, you take yourself. These days, if he forgets it and if he leaves it and forgets it, people pick up and this is mine. So, where a society lives so spontaneously, naturally, you don't require to make a law there. In Treta Yuga, that means a time period when society starts a little bit of individuality, then you have to make laws. Then you have to impose punishment. There also little bit, some people make a little mistake, just on advice he will change. Then third yuga comes, a simple advising not enough, simple you have to enforce him, you have to punish him. Then the fourth yuga comes, means fourth period, then you have to impose further. What is that? You have to impose further repeatedly. You have to enforce repeatedly. Then only he will follow. So that is the period we are living. But even in this period, there are many saintly good people, very sincere people. So therefore, this according to Yuga Dharma, this point that according to Yuga, this Dharma is a little more legislated. Earlier, it was voluntarily understood. People would understand themselves. You don't have to make a law. They would understand themselves and then they live in harmony with each other. Even that Shambhu Kavada context also Ramayana says the same thing, that in the earliest period, people were very simple. Later you have to make little more laws. Later again little more. Fourth Yuga have to enforce them. Okay, after saying this, so this dharmas, what happens, molds the inner personality and gradually prepares him to the higher level. Gradually prepares him to the higher life, so that his inner samskaras get gradually, bad samskaras get erased and higher pure samskaras are developed. And along with samskara, there is a karma. Two things are there. One is my personality development, another is past karma. Past karma also creates invisibly certain situations, a certain personality. See, our personality is developed due to samskaras and plus karma. Two things are combined. Past karma also, sometimes however you try, your mind won't change at all. However you try won't change because there is a strong past karma. And sometimes it easily changes because the past karma is not so strong, it is a little bit, so it gets exhausted and you will change. Therefore, past karma as well as samskara, these two put together make our personality. Therefore, in each varna, certain dharmas are prescribed. And in each varna, naturally, there will be the best people and medium people. Some people are too lower people. In each varna, you will find, even the Shudras, there are very highly good people, best people. And the varna dharmas, he says, learning Shastra, Veda, not the worldly knowledge. The talking of Veda means religious knowledge. This dharmic knowledge, religious knowledge, he learns, practices, and teaches others. And also, he officiates religious functions. That is the Brahmana Dharma. Kshatriya Dharma is administration and also protecting from others and all that. And Vaishya Dharma is increasing your wealth and all. Shudra Dharma doesn't mean these days that they have translated as a slave. It is not slave. All technical skills, all industries, in those days, at cottage industries, all industries, all technical skill with Shudra. And also, Dharma, he mentioned, Dharma, the Shudras qualities talked about in Puranas, even in Bhagavata. I think Shvarjayet, Murtam tu Nityam. No, I think in Sanniti Shaucham Seva Swamin Yamaya. Sincerely doing service. See, Shudra Varna, values of Shudra Varna means discipline, hard work, discipline, hard work, sincerity, loyalty to your master. All these are highly positive qualities are considered as a Shudra values. That's why in Bhagavad Gita, Shankaracharya gives Shudra as a model for Karma Yoga. Swami Bhritya Nyaya. Like a servant does service to his master, a Karma Yogi should do. Karma Yoga, for Karma Yoga, Shudra's behavior, Shudra's life is a model for Karma Yogi. Therefore, Shudra life is not looked down upon as a servant or useless and all. It is a very disciplined, hard work. You have to, therefore, that is also a great dharma. And it also produces punya. For all these 4 varnas, whatever dharma prescribed to them, all these 4 varnas, they follow their own dharma. All of them are assured of heaven. It is there in shastras, even in Bhagavata and elsewhere other dharmas also. All 4 varnas, they follow their own dharma. Their duties are different, but the result will be same. Everybody is entitled to heaven. Therefore, this vrittis, according to your past karma, an inclination in the past karma, and also little more cultivated in this janma, past janma, in this janma, it is cultivated and you practice it gradually. You grow, you achieve this life as well as the next life. Amandasteyam. One more point. Yajna puja, Shudras are not permitted to do rituals, they say. It is not true. Yajna directly, yajna, a Kshatriya can perform, Brahmana can perform yajna. Shudra is not qualified for yajna. There is one Shudra yajna anavakluptaha, there is a statement. Taking this statement, people are making very big issue and then criticizing. Oh, all this is following our Indologist, European Western Indologist. Our Indians is a very unfortunate thing, following them blindly, ignoring our own Indian tradition. Anyway, so I hope they'll understand these things by studying our Shastra. He says, Shastra says that Shudra is also part of Yajna. Yajna also different levels. One is cosmos is Yajna. The world running, the very cycle is a yajna. The world is running is a yajna. And the society is a yajna. A nation is a yajna. All 4 varnas form into a society. A society living harmoniously is a yajna. A nation running along with different caste, different professions. You are running a nation, country, that is a yajna. You are running a family, that is a yajna. Father, mother, children, they live together in harmony, loving and caring for each other, that is one yajna. So yajna model is with cosmos, one yajna, society is one yajna, nation is yajna, family is a yajna, then individual life is a yajna. See, yajna spirit is there at these various levels. Okay, yeah. So these levels. So this yajna, Shudra is not qualified only means that independently he need not do yajna. He can form part of the yajna in a different way. Everybody has a role in the yajna. By being anga bhuta, we call them, by supplying the anga to the yajna, by sharing the angas of the yajna, Shudra also participates in yajna. Everybody participates in yajna. So that statement means that. So in Bhagavata Dharma, one point I say, Bhagavata Dharma say bhakti is included in Bhagavata Dharma and Namasmarana. This also has been there in Veda, and it is reinterpreted and rebrought in a Bhagavata way. So therefore, this dharma's ultimate goal is ihaloka and paraloka and ultimately moksha. I think I gave a brief idea. Many things need a separate topic, but I just touched it briefly. Okay, so we give time for if people have any questions, they can ask. Okay, Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om.
Dhanyavad Swamiji. So it is mentioned Bhagavad Gita, verse 2. Chapter 2, verse 31. Further, considering your own duty, You should not waver. Indeed, for a Kshatriya, there exists no duty superior to fighting a righteous war. Thus, for Kshatriya, righteous war is more profitable dharma than japa, tapa, dhyan, bhakti, and reading Vedas as stated above. This question is also for other Varna.
This question?
This question is applicable to other Varnas. I think he's asking that because every Varna has a Vishesh dharma. So, following their own dharma is more profitable to them instead of doing japa, tapa, bhakti, or dhyan. Is it like that?
Yeah.
This is the question.
Because true, that is true. Because his own dharma is like a japa for him. His own Kshatriya dharma, he also does it with a great sacrifice, dedication, and devotion. So that itself, because you see, Yuddha requires a lot of concentration. Even that is like a japa, and he has to be ready to die any moment. You don't know. There he requires a surrender. So that is becoming a worship. That is becoming another puja only. So each action is a puja. So it's only the way of puja differs. Japa puja is also one japa puja. Even Yuddha is also japa puja. Any duty is like japa puja. So that way Kshatriya can do. But Kshatriya means here there is a full-time Kshatriya. Another is part-time Kshatriya. Means this particular waging a war. Other people also join as soldiers according to the need. So other caste also may join as soldiers. It is a part-time job. But or even if they take full-time also, they take it as an additional. It can be taken according to the need if the society. Sometimes you can change your profession if the society needs it, and a collective society like a king and other elderly mature dharmikas decide help for you. You can adopt that. Therefore, it applies to all soldiers. Kshatriya's main dharma, for others also adopt that. So it applies to them. In this also, it is also a puja. Everybody's job is puja. This regarding cow, I have been asked this question. Why do you worship cow? So here modern people try to give an explanation that cow gives us milk, and the milk is very nutritious, and it helps us to live. Therefore, cow is like a mother. Therefore, we worship. So this is a common sense explanation, but this is not a Shastriya explanation. Because if you go by this explanation, many other arguments come. Some people drink goat's milk also. Goat's milk also is nutritious. Even buffalo's milk also we drink. Then why cow alone should be worshipped? So it looks illogical again. So that explanation is not there in the Shastra. Shastra doesn't give that it gives milk, therefore we should worship. Shastra's reason is, go is a Devata Rupini. It is a Devata Amsha. There is a Devata Amsha in the, like a sun is Devata, Prithvi is Devata. Similarly, cow is Devata. There is a Devata Amsha in cow. Therefore, the cow's milk are become holy for your yajna and abhisheka and for puja and even for Ayurveda and all that. So goat's milk also are nutritious. In fact, some people say more nutritious than cow's milk. But we don't consider, Shastra doesn't consider it is holy, because cow is holy, is a Devata Rupini. Therefore, its milk becomes a Devata. So the answer is totally reverse to what common sense says, what commonly people think. First, cow is holy because it is created, it is born of Devata Amsha, is a part of Devata's divinity. It partakes. Therefore, its milk becomes holy. This way, similarly, professions did not create caste. It is the caste, to the caste the professions are given. That way, if this principle, if you remember, we can explain many things in our Shastras. So regarding the Varna, they say the untouchables use it a very dirty job, therefore they become untouchable. I say in the Shastras nowhere it is told that they do dirty job. In fact, our Shastra prescribed way is like they announce in the village. In the village they go around and Dandora, we call them Hindi in Dandora. Dandora means they, what do you call that?
Beating the drum.
Beating the drum. beating the drum and announcing it. So that's a very respectable job. These days we call them like announcement, like our journalist job. And then village patrolling police, village police job. That is also a respectable job. Then they give water in the village fields to the cultural, agricultural fields. It is his trust, it is his job that he will, from the tank, village tank, he would see the village heads decide water should be given to these people like this, and later it is when he executes it. So like that, we can see them very respectable jobs which are useful to society. There is no dirty job nowhere mentioned. Neither Manu, nor Yajnavalkya, nor Smriti, nor Bhagavata, nowhere the dirty job, toilet cleaning, all those things never mentioned. Therefore, the untouchability of them did not come due to this thing. It is simply due to a discipline. It is due to past papa. And also it is a discipline. One more thing I say. These days, a person like Ayyappa Diksha in South India, you can see them. They take a Diksha for 40 days. For these 40 days, they won't eat the food of anybody. I spoke to some people. They don't eat the food cooked by their own wife, his own wife. One person, he says, once I take Diksha, I live with along with other Ayyappa Swamis. So I won't eat food cooked by my wife also. So wife doesn't feel any bad, that insulted, that, oh, I'm not touched and all. She says that my husband is taken Diksha and following such a discipline. I felt very happy. And even looking at him, I feel so nice and so happy. And so she never felt that she is humiliated or untouched and all that. So it is a simple discipline you follow. And therefore, similarly, anybody can take this Diksha. Even the untouchable also can take Diksha, and he may not do touch others. I have seen certain tribal family even somewhere. He is a priest of one tribal god. He says, food is cooked separately for me and I will also eat separately. I follow this discipline. And this way society also respects me. I follow it as a discipline for my devata. So this way anybody can take this Diksha. Even the Shudras, even the Chandalas can take this Diksha and follow. I'll give you my own example in my childhood. There was one caste, they would beat drums like this. There was a well, I had Upanayana, and we were playing, children at the age of 8 or 9, I think. I were playing and somebody carrying the water after drawing it from the well. And unintentionally, there was no space. It was a small space, a lane like this. I was running, somebody was to run to touch me. And unintentionally, I touched that vessel which was lying there on the wall of the well. And that lady called me, though they were Shudra, she called me, I say, throw away this water, I can't touch this. Immediately, I felt very sorry. I told him, I am very sorry, I did not know this. I threw the water, and again she drew the water and took it without my touching. I was standing at a distance. I never felt insulted that, oh, I am considered as untouchable, being a Brahmana undergoing Upanayana. I never felt that. In fact, I felt guilty that I have touched unconsciously. Had I known, I would not have touched it. So I felt it is a simple discipline. They want to keep water clean after taking bath and let you go. It is simply as simple as this. Just like a person in 9 days, 10 days after death of some relative, he will remain at a distance. It is simple, this thing. But personally, nobody should be humiliated. Even if a Shudra Chandala is humiliated or insulted or injustice is done, you will incur equally, Papa Shastra says. Even if you abuse him by the name of caste, Manu says, by taking the name of his caste, you abuse it, it is a papa for you. So, respect to any human being as a human being is there. It has been there throughout in all our Dharma Shastras. So, because Atma is there, Atma is in a particular position. All these janmas are tentative. So, Atma has undergone many janmas like this. So, many keep on changing the Varnas, number of them. So, tentatively, he is in this janma at the moment and is following certain law, certain dharma. The next janma will be different. He is not same. So, this caste doesn't touch the Atma. It is tentatively, he is in a bodily condition and he goes through it. So, certain dharma is prescribed so that he learns certain values, certain discipline, exhaust past papa and create his future for tomorrow. All this is simple way. So, for not knowing these things, we are looking at everything materialistically, socially. Therefore, all this is creating a misunderstanding. So what I meant to say is, if the basic principle is known, accordingly we can change. Now the society has changed many things. So, but keeping the principle, it has to be changed, whatever is to be changed. Otherwise, we generally condemn the past, and our shastras and our whole shastra we declare as if it is wrong. And then out of hatred for our dharma and shastra, anything new policy, new idea you bring, anything you bring out of hatred is not going to be beneficial to anybody, any society. If we understand the real principle behind, it can be the same principle can be readopted according to the need. Like, for example, people complain that if untouchability is a right one, is at all, then what happens in the buses and trains? Dharma Shastra says, in a place like bus and train, untouchability doesn't apply. You touch it, doesn't happen, it is equally good. No papa accrues to you. Shastra clearly says. In a big temple area, people come in queue and for darshana in large number. There is no untouchability. Because in presence of God, in presence of such a holy place, all other things will go away because everybody becomes holy. Right in front of God, and when you are in the smarana, in thinking of God, where is the question of impurity? All that goes. So same Shastra gives according to the on the way or in your vehicle, doesn't apply. People not knowing it keep on rigidly applying and creating problems. Otherwise, it doesn't apply. So the mutual respect has been there. And therefore, each one was proud of his own caste. Because caste profession, he is proud of his own one. Therefore, there was no ill will towards others. Now what I see is, Brahmanas people are feeling guilty, and certain Shudras and other people are feeling hatred for them. I think this takes us nowhere except destruction. So there has been a mutual help, and you can see Sarvadharma Bhubhushakaha, Mahabharata. One shloka says, a person is a dharmika who loves the well-being and the development of all varnas, all people. He wants everybody to be happy and peaceful. So Sarvadharma Bhubhushakaha, there is one name. Such a person is a dharmika. So this is a divisive. Caste has been used as a principle of divisive. In fact, it was not a divisive, it was a uniting, it was a harmonizing principle. It was harmonizing. One more point my Guruji would say, I have learnt from more than, I think, 5, 7 or 10 gurus, number of gurus. I stayed with them for some time. One Akhandananda Swamiji, I directly heard from him in Vrindavan. He is a very well-known Swamiji in North India. He would say this dharma. Varna is used for your own swabhimana, not for abhimana. Abhimana, swabhimana, there is a difference. It is for your self-confidence and self-respect, not for humiliating others. He says, supposing a Brahmana dharma. If it is his dharma, it prevents him from doing certain wrong things. Oh, I am not supposed to do, I will not do. Even sannyasa dharma, I am a sannyasi. I am supposed to do only these things, other things I am not supposed to do. It protects me, it reminds me so that I do my own dharma and I will not do other things. Because that immediately reminds me, hey, this is not my dharma, I am not supposed to do. It pricks your conscience. But nobody should use sannyasa or brahmana or any varna or any ashrama for telling, hey, I am a brahmana, you are supposed to treat me like this. You can't use brahmana to humiliate others, threaten others. That is nowhere in the Shastra, and nobody should use it. Akhandananda Swamiji, very orthodox Swami, he didn't know a single word of English, and this is what he would tell me. I heard him directly. That nowhere in the Shastra it is there. It is for me to remind me my dharma, not to use it upon other, impose on other that, hey, you are supposed to treat me like this. Therefore, sannyasi also, I am a sannyasi, is to remind me my dharma. Not to say that, hey, I am a sannyasi, you are supposed to treat me like this. It is not to threaten others, frighten others. So similarly, every varna is like. Therefore, every caste very felt proud in those days, right from my childhood I have seen many other people, they felt very proud of their own caste. In fact, they would say, we are not beggars like you. I think I would see them like you. Brahmanas live on bhiksha. We are not beggars like you. We live our own hard work. We are very proud of. We don't take free money. You go and give it to others, they would say. These days, because of that, I tell you, there was no corruption. Nobody would take money, free money like that. These days, it has become corruption, become so easy, so shameless, because anybody accepts anybody freely. So that dharma protects many other values also. And even untouchability has one more advantage, I tell you. You respect the person from a distance, you won't touch them. The relationship with our low-caste woman was very rare, very minimum. Higher caste people would not touch the woman, so that protects them. Otherwise, in European and other societies where mingling is easy, lot of abusive of the woman of lower caste people. In Brahmanas, this is a very minimum. Many places it was not there, because if you touch them, you will fall. Therefore, they are protected, very well protected because of this thing. So it has got certain dharma, certain utility, and it has protected the people. When it is abused, one thing is that the European Indologists, they created it as a principle of hatred, either political reason or social reason. When they keep on imposing this reason, gradually we started absorbing it and we started hating each other. And I feel if we understand our true principle, lot of harmony will come back.
Yes, Swamiji. Thank you so much. Now, Rekha ji has asked a question. Swamiji, how to reach this knowledge to young people? How to take this knowledge to young people and students? She basically is saying that young people get influenced by Western sources and ideas. Sources, as you just said, that to express our respect for cow or worship of cow, people say that okay, she is like mother because we drink her milk, and it's very nutritious. So it's also the this is an apologist position. So like this, she has asked that how should we take the knowledge about Samanya and Vishesh Dharma to the younger.
The only thing is that the books are in Sanskrit. One disadvantage is they are in Sanskrit. Second thing is they were written long before. And the modern days, the many explanations differ. We have to explain to the modern mind. Second reason. Third reason is the books were not meant for self-study. You see all our shastras, they are handbooks for teachers to use while teaching. Therefore, many things, the missing things, their teachers explain, our gurus would explain to us. But nowadays, people want to read for themselves. They are not able to make out anything because the books were not meant for self-study. So nowadays, what we need is, we need a Hinduism course. We have to talk about this topic by topic, write, explain, which taking the modern examples, modern man's thinking, modern boys' thinking, explain to them. And I feel we need a Hinduism courses. This is what I have been planning, and I'm writing a little bit also. So we need courses. One is a certificate course, diploma course, degree course of Hinduism. Explain to them according to their age. And then put this as a book, and whatever media we have got, all audio, video, different medias, and teach them, train the teachers and explain to them. So this way, and then create a part-time gurukulas. This is what I'm feeling. The full-time gurukula, we are not able to create, and then it has got a lot of many other legal and other problems, but at least part-time gurukula system, every boy and girl should undergo. There should be a clear syllabus, and books should be prepared. Teachers should be taught, prepared. Books should be prepared, and they should be taught. And encourage them to ask questions, and then each question should be referred to the person who studied the Shastra. Then they will give the explanations. Otherwise, people, those who imagine, as I just now, apologetic explanation, these apologetic explanations are becoming too popular, and many people know only these explanations. And these apologetic explanation have counter questions. They say milk also, goat also gives the milk. Why not worship goat? Now you have no answer. Your answer falsified. So in fact, that is not the answer there in the Shastra. So this way they give many things. So the right Shastriya answers have got lot of depth, a lot of clarity, and there are many different levels also. All this should be explained in a simple way with an example, point by point. in an understandable language. In a language is understandable to modern man. Sanskrit also, it is there, but they are scattered. One more thing is, even if you study any Sanskrit book, they are all scattered. You don't find in one place. Many scattered. You have to study all the shastras, then you will get them. Instead of that, we should write them more systematically, train the teachers, and have a part-time gurukulas. Let them undergo basically first a simple course of certificate, some then diploma, then if he is interested, further courses. I think that is the only way. Otherwise, there is no way. It is not a single man's job, but we all have to come together and do these things. Each one does it his own way, at his own level. Some people ready to be trained as teachers and teach. Some people run some part-time gurukulas. Some people publish books. Some people write books. Some people discuss. I am also in touch with our Orthodox people in Agraharas. When I have a doubt, even now Dharma Shastra is such a vast field. Even now, when I have Dharma Sandeha, I am in touch with people. I talk to them, they explain to me. Then that I'll explain to others. Though I studied many, still there are many minute ones somewhere come. Like this Panditas also should come together and discuss. Then bring out that the result of what they discuss in a form. Problem with our society is somebody discusses and explains, it remains oral, nowhere gets recorded, nowhere gets written. Even if it is written somewhere, some magazine, somewhere published, it reaches few people and again it doesn't reach. One side there is answer, another side there is a lot of ignorance. This is the fate of global Hindu society I am talking. Somewhere there are right answers, few people know, it doesn't reach others. Others are struggling hard. I think somewhere we have to bridge this gap. This is a very big thing. We have to form either big organization or small number of plenty of small organization. Mainly this interact with people and get this information, reach the people. I think people will, you explain to them point by point in this situation, it will become easy. With examples.
Yes. Swamiji, even I read somewhere that, I think there was a shloka. I don't remember exactly whether in Mahabharata or Bhagavad Gita, that when it is asked what is Dharma, so the reply is that, when you do not know the Vedas and Smritis and Shruti, the conduct of your elders, the Gyanis and the saints is what you can understand Dharma through that. So I think if elders around us and we also try to follow Dharma in whatever circumstance we are placed, and whatever our disabilities and incapacities are, despite that, if we try our best to stick to Dharma, that itself sets a great example for the younger generations. That is where they learn from. So
that is true, but there are a little difficulty in it. So I explain two things. One is following the elder, we call Shishtachara or Sadachara. Even Manu says that Shruti, Smriti, Sadachara. Sadachara means following the behavior, acts of our elderly people, respectable. Here one thing is, one is when they follow, when our elderly people follow something, modern days, they ask question why we should follow all that. That means we want an intellectual, conceptual explanation. Here I have to, can I elaborate a little bit? So just 2 minutes I take. In those days,
please.
Yeah, in those days, the children or younger generation live with elderly people. As you live in that atmosphere, that feelings, that idea, the feeling, that experience grows in you. For example, respect. In temple, when you go, you do namaskara. What is that feeling? We don't explain verbally, we don't explain conceptually, but we keep on doing pradakshina, namaskara, and then keep on doing in a few days, gradually. That anubhava of bhakti comes to you. Now, if modern people, the modern youngsters are encouraged because of this Western influence, everything first you explain theoretically and then go for the practice. First you explain theoretically what is it, why we should do that, why namaskara, why sitting this thing, why doing this thing, why flower offering. Now first they want a conceptual explanation before. In our ancient days, only in philosophical ideas, deeper Vedanta alone, all that was explained. But in our rituals and other things, more than theoretical explanation, here and there is a little explanation also, but they are all scattered in the books, in Mimamsa, in Purana, in various places. Somewhere it is there, but generally they say, you live with Guru or with your seniors. In that way, gradually that experience grows in you, you come to understand. Therefore, they would say, hey, you live with that, you understand, don't ask like that. So the conceptually explanation was missing. And second thing is the generation gap has come. Our present generation also gone to the modern school. They have not learned from the traditionally. Present parents I am talking. Parents also lost touch with culture. They are unable to explain theoretically, conceptually, behind all our behavior, customs and acts and etc. They have no knowledge of it. So this is one thing coming. Second thing is shastras, when we explain to them, an experienced person should, I think the same thing, I've included both in that thing. So if modern people want a theoretical, conceptual explanation, that should be given. Second thing is second thing, now I remember. The Shishtachara, Sadachara, when we talk, nowadays those Sadachara, Shishtachara also becoming less and less. Partly their behavior also is getting mixed up with little Western things also. Therefore, they cannot form the complete perfect model for our practice. Some of them are unconsciously got mixed up. They also don't know, unconsciously got mixed up. Therefore, what Shastra says, Manu and others say is, those who have studied Shastra, not influenced by anti-Shastra views and thoughts and experiences, who lived thoroughly Shastra's vision and made it into his Anubhava. And it has become part of his personality, so much ingrained into his personality that anything he does, even consciously, unconsciously, that comes out of that Shastra's vision alone. Such a person becomes Sadachara, model for others, Shishtachara, Shishta Purusha. Shishta Purusha is a person who has really cultivated that Shastra's vision and lived that experience. Otherwise, these days, a few of them they know, a few of them they don't know. Therefore, partly got mixed up. If you take them as a model, partly comes, partly goes wrong. Therefore, we need Shishtas. Shishtas are also how to update their knowledge and experiences, again living in that atmosphere. Then it becomes easy. So one is a theoretical, conceptual explanation should come. Second is our Shishtas, our elderly, respectable people also. They are also losing touch with Shastra, losing touch with their own elderly people. So partly their behavior also getting mixed up with others. So this is also a disadvantage. No, I don't mean that they don't need to be updated. The basic principles, if our own Varna Vyavastha continued, if we did not have these two foreign rules, I'm sure the Varnas would, the Smritis would not remain the same. The principle would remain same. But the application according to the conditions, they would have changed many things. But the principles would have remained. Now the principles have suffered. Suffered means gone out of our understanding. So they have to be updated. So Shishtas also they have to update by learning little more, because partly got mixed up with other things. Then the Shishta will be perfect model for the next generation. So true, what you told true, the same thing I explained a little bit.
Thank you, Swamiji.
Bhakti purifies. Bhakti, one more thing I say. Shudras are supposed to do service to Brahmana, they say. Now this also modern people have misunderstood. I simply ask a question. What does a brahmachari, a Brahmana or even a Dvija brahmachari do in Gurukula? It does the same thing. So Guru Seva itself is a learning. It is a culture. It is a spiritual sadhana. The same thing he does it. So therefore Brahmana himself who has studied Shastra, lives the life himself is a Guru. So his serving him is a Gurukula Vasa for him. He also learned many things by being in touch with them. So therefore he was advised to be in touch with him and learn from him and serve him. That itself is a Gurukula Vasa. Just as a Brahmachari learns all, in fact for Brahmachari also, more than bookish learning, service and be in touch is more important. Without service and without Guru Seva and Gurukula Vasa, learning is not considered as a learning. In fact, he should not learn a single page extra without Guru's teaching. The idea is Self-study creates a misunderstanding, ego, and many other problems. Therefore, you learn, prepare your mind, purify your mind, and then learn the Shastra. You will not abuse the knowledge and you will be a good, capable person, because knowledge is a power. It should not go into the hands of wrong people. You will abuse it. He should use it for the good of the society. Therefore, brahmachari is supposed to live, serve, and also learn his responsibility and sensitivity for others. Then along with it, knowledge. Just knowledge is not, nowadays you see, just to give them knowledge without his personality, responsibility, values, just give knowledge. Then the knowledge is becoming a big weapon. It is hurting him and hurting the society also. So similarly, Shudras were also asked to serve Brahmana. It doesn't, modern people are interpreting it as a humiliation and all that. It is a simple Guru Seva. It is a Gurukula Vasa. So you learn many things, many values, many experiences you go through, you develop in your interaction. Those who have done them, they can feel in their experience. Therefore, even this also, there is nothing negative, as modern people are interpreting.
Yes. Swamiji, you just mentioned that Varnas are not derived from certain professions. Instead, professions are prescribed to a particular Varna. Now, since there has been so much of a debate, and Varna Vyavastha, Varna Dharma has been turned into a controversial topic in itself. In the modern day, anyway, the Varnas are not able to follow, I would say, their profession, the prescribed profession as such. But in all this debate, I think the Samanya Dharma, it gets neglected, which everyone should follow. Exactly. So nobody talks about the universal principles of the truth, purity, asteya, etc.
True.
So how can we redirect this attention to the Samanya Dharma? I think in the long run, it would also help us appreciate the Vishesh Dharma.
True. See, I give you a very concrete example. Brahmana would follow a teaching profession. So along with teaching the subject, he has got many other values, disciplines, many things for that. If some other person adopts the teaching profession, he thinks that only teaching is a skill and I learn and teach. What about other accompanying, other values, other disciplines? He just ignores. That he has to be taught. If you are learning a subject and going to become a teacher, then you have to learn all the values of a teacher. The responsibility, discipline, and values you have to learn. If this Samanya Dharma is ignored, teaching is becoming simple professional without the character and personality and other values. So everything is going like that. Similarly, businessman also. So if a Vaishya follows the businessman, there is a dharma in earning, there is a dharma in spending also. It is spent for the society, for values, for temples, for dharma protection, education, they would donate and all those things. But other people, when they adopt the business, then business means only making money alone. What about the accompanying other dharmas? Other dharmas, because they are adopting on their own by ignoring the accompanying values. So those who are adopting, so therefore we say, in our shastras also, sometimes if you could not practice your own Varna Dharma, if you have to adopt others, Dharma means profession I am talking. If you have to adopt another Varna's Vishesha Dharma, then you shouldn't do personally. It has to be with the help of a guide of some Dharmika society, a Dharmika Sabha. Dharmika Sabha should guide you, take their permission and adopt it. Otherwise, if you personally adopt, then he will go by his own personal liking and take only as a professional income alone, and other accompanying values and discipline go away. So there, if the Sabha decides it, then they say, if you adopt these things, okay, but along with it, these values also must be there. Then it will be a comprehensive. Otherwise, as you said, it is happening like this. You adopt another's profession, accompanying values, Samanya Dharma get neglected. So with Samanya, in fact, Samanya Dharma, Vishesha are not two. Samanya applied in a Vishesha context becomes a Vishesha Dharma. It is the same thing. Samanya Dharmas applied in a Vishesha context, we call Vishesha Dharma. Otherwise, the Dharma is common, both. Dharma cannot be violated, cannot be ignored. It cannot be, it can't be taken as a simple income and then my own profession and income. It can't be. It's not a simple skill and simple making money. It's not that much. Vishesha is not simply that. It is a dharma. It requires values, discipline, society, and everything has to be kept in view. Otherwise, it is becoming simply this only, skill and making money, only two things.
Yes. Just like there was a question that, Kshatriya's dharma is to fight in a war. Now, without the knowledge of dharma, one would think any war. What
Anyone.
sort of war should you fight in? What should be the ideals and values that you fight for?
True. Exactly. That's what is happening.
Yes.
So the comprehensive vision is missing.
Rekha has thanked you for the fantastic session, and she says dhanyawad.